Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Osama, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. And you made some comments over my YouTube channel, so I went ahead and I'm going to answer these at my website because there's a lot of other people who also will have similar questions as you, and I will also post the video at my YouTube channel. So if you can also find this particular video if you go to my YouTube channel. Alright, so if I remember, we kind of started a conversation like other students. You suggested I look like George W. Bush, and I have had that before, so I take no offense by what you said. I kind of jokingly replied to you, yes, I am George W. Bush's long-lost twin brother, was what I said. So anyway, we're just having fun, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the serious issue here. So you say, I'm looking forward. You want to say here, to getting, not get. When you're using to, this is a preposition, and you want to use a gerund after this, not an infinitive. So I'm looking forward to getting, I'm going to say here, a PhD admission in industrial engineering. I've recently, you can't say took here. Why is that? Because you have. So you have to use the past participle here. I have recently taken, you want to say the TOEFL iBT exams. And then put a comma here to avoid the comma splice and say, and my scores not was, but were not that pretty. And you even have to say which here. You can put a colon here and just say this. This is a little more concise way of saying it. We're not that pretty. 80. So reading you had 19. Listening you had 24. Speaking 19. And then writing 18. You say, I hope to score. And this is the wrong word order here. So let me copy this. You want to say, I hope to score 100 or more on my next attempt. So, maybe put a comma here if you can help. I would say here, use the adjective here, not the verb. So I would be appreciative. Alright, so now let's be honest here. Most people will tell you that they may or may not like what I always say, but depending on when you want to take your next TOEFL exam, I don't see you scoring 100 anytime soon. You're just having too many problems with your language use. You have a lot of problems that you have to solve. And that means time. That means you're going to have to spend time solving those problems. So if I'm being honest with you, you're probably looking at 3 to 6 months minimum. That's your minimum. At least 3 months, maybe even more than 6 months before you will be able to solve all the problems that you're having right now with your language. The good news is you can do it. It's going to take some time if you work hard. Now, you can get into an English program, an intensive English program. You can pay $3,200 every 10 weeks for the next few months. Think about it. And you still may not reach your goal. Or you can follow my suggestions specifically in this video, and you can save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars, and you can still reach your goal in about the same amount of time as it would take you if you were in an intensive English program. The difference is, in an intensive English program, of course, you'll have teachers giving you homework, and then they'll be following up on your homework, and you'll have your visa status, and you can't miss class and all those things, right? Or if you're just studying from home and you're not worrying about spending all that money, and you follow my suggestions in this video, you will be able to reach your goal, but you have to be good working on your own. If you're not good working on your own and you cannot hold yourself accountable for your studies, then you should probably go ahead and spend the thousands of dollars in an intensive English program so you can be accountable to someone. Now, my first suggestion is 45 minutes of reading every day. My second suggestion is 45 minutes of listening practice every day. You got to be very disciplined in these first two areas. Now, as you do the reading and the listening practice, it's very important that you get in the habit of note-taking. You want to focus on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Then, using your notes, you can write three summaries each week. Each summary should be approximately 250 words. That means you're doing about 750 words of writing each week for the next few months. This is very important now. The key here is you don't need me to evaluate these. Remember that as you start working on the lessons in my online TOEFL course, you can complete writing and speaking practice tests, and you will get feedback from me as you practice. But this particular practice, you don't need me to give you any comments. You're just getting used to, number one, reading and listening, and then writing about that information. Now, you can also, maybe I'll put this here, make it a little bit easier to understand. So you write 3 summaries each week. Now, I'm also going to recommend give maybe 3 to 5 oral summaries each week. Now, here's a key. They must be recorded. They absolutely have to be recorded. Keeping in mind, a lot of students aren't used to recording their voices online. So once they take the TOEFL exam, they're shocked. I mean, look at your speaking score. Your score is 19 points out of 30. That's not where you want to be if you want to get over 100. The main thing is you must become comfortable recording and listening to your voice online. Again, in this case, you don't need me to evaluate these oral summaries. You're just getting used to recording your voice, talking about the main points of reading and listening passages. Now, if you can do these things, these first 2 things, this gives you about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day. You will be able to make progress. I'm telling you, you got to trust me here, and it doesn't cost you thousands of dollars to do this. Now, you may say, well, Michael, what do I read? I say you choose what you want to read. Read magazines, read newspapers, read longer books. You choose the materials here to do this extensive reading practice. Take a look at your reading here. I'm looking at it right now. You are 19 points out of 30 here. If you want to get 25 points or higher, you have to really, really make an effort to read every day. Now, your listening skills are okay right now, but the listening is still helpful because remember, you're writing about this information and you're speaking about this information. So you'll continue to even improve your listening as you do this. Now, the next thing is you should be spending about 1 to 2 hours in my online TOEFL course over the next few months. Remember, my course is inexpensive. You're creating what's called a monthly subscription. It renews monthly. You can cancel anytime you want, but it gives you some very, very good practice in your vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar areas. You also get practice in the listening and the reading sections of my course. You'll even get writing and speaking practice. In all, I have over 700 lessons to help you improve your academic English language proficiency. My course was designed exactly for somebody like you. Now, how do you use my course? I'm going to give you some suggestions of things that you can do, which I think will be helpful. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to practice at my online TOEFL course, and then maybe every 2 or 3 months you can take a full-length IBT practice test to check your score. Once you're close to 100, then that means you're ready to take the TOEFL iBT exam. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so here's my recommendation right now. Is as you're practicing, each week you can pick a lesson from each area of my course. And maybe each day you can do a minimum of 2 lessons from each sections of my course. This is what's probably going to work for you. So let's take a look at a schedule here for you. So let's say Sunday, we have Monday, we have Tuesday, we have Thursday, we have Friday, then we have Saturday. So Sunday, you can do vocabulary lesson 1, pronunciation lesson 1. Then Monday, you can do grammar lesson 1, then listening lesson 1. Then Tuesday, you can do reading lesson 1, and then writing lesson 1. And then Thursday, you can do speaking lesson 1, and then you are back to vocabulary lesson 2. You see what I'm saying? Then once you get to Friday, you will do pronunciation lesson 2, then grammar lesson 2. Then on Saturday, you will do listening lesson 1, 2, then reading lesson 2. So basically what you're trying to do is, there's over 700 lessons, and you can't do those all in one day. Some of these lessons will take you maybe up to 2 or 3 months to master, for example, all the vocabulary words in the lesson. But as you keep going through my lessons over a week to month to a monthly basis, you will begin to really begin to improve your academic English language proficiency. And my recommendation is you can go over, you can do maybe every 2 or 3 months you can take a full-length IBT practice test. You can find out about those if you go to the 8th section of my course. Once you're one of my students, you can do that. And then basically each week you're going through my lessons one at a time. Now some students prefer to work only on vocabulary first, and then they'll do pronunciation, then they'll do grammar, but it can be a little bit monotonous, a little bit boring. It's probably better if you shake it up for variety purposes and try to get lessons in all 7 sections of my course each week. Now keep in mind that I'm just giving you right now suggestions of how you can use my course. Once you become one of my students, you can use my course any way you want. You have complete access to all 700 of my lessons each week, each month, so you can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you my suggestions based on your current TOEFL score and based on your goals. Alright, so anyway, those are my suggestions for you. And you just got to remember here, it's a long road. What you're trying to do here, you may talk to different people on the internet. They may say, hey, you know, I can help you reach your goal in 1 month or 2 months. But to go from 80 to 100, even though it's only 20 points, it does take considerable effort. And my experience is most students don't reach that goal in just 30 days. It will take typically a longer, more concerted, more consistent effort on your part. As I said, probably anywhere from 3 to 6 months. But if you're consistent, and if you study every day, if you follow my plan, I have been teaching students online since 2008. I've been a TOEFL instructor at California State University, San Bernardino, since 1994. What does that tell you? I've been teaching for 20 years, so I have a pretty good idea of the kinds of improvements you can expect to make and how hard you're going to have to work. So what I'm telling you is if you look at what I'm saying here, you're probably looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 hours every day for 3 to 6 months for you to go from 80 to 100. That's probably what you're looking at. Remember though, the sooner you start, the quicker you will be able to begin making your improvements. So at this point, I'd like to invite you to become one of my newest students. The December is a great time to study TOEFL online. A lot of students have vacations, they're not in class. You'll have a lot of free time to start working on your target scores. Alright, anyway, thank you very much and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.